I really enjoyed the last video I did when I told you about my condition and showed you the photos and all of that stuff, and I feel like you guys liked it too, so I figured I want to do it again. But this time I'm going to talk to you about the really cool places I've been able to travel outside of the country for work. And they have all been just a lot of really great fun adventures and memories and places I've been able to go that I still cannot believe I've been able to go to, especially for work. I don't know, I feel like we get to go on these like great trips and we take photos and do all of these things, but then we sort of just put it in the back of our mind and never talk about it again, so I want to talk about it. So after my TED Talk went viral, I got a ton of requests all over the world to go speak. And at that point, I had never gone out of the country before. And I was invited to speak in Barcelona, in Spain. I'll tell you about that next. But because we weren't sure how my body was going to handle such a long flight, we stopped in London and stayed there for a few days so that I could adjust to the time change and all of the things. And this is me just being a typical tourist. And it was so great. I had to. I had to do it. Also, I went through a very big headband phase for a long time, and everyone was like, "Oh, they're so cute," but look at me. What am I doing? I'm an adult. Fun fact: after I took this photo, there's a really sweet man walking by and knew me by my name. Mind you, I was in London, and he knew my name and who I was because he saw my TED Talk, and it was a really cool moment. Then, of course, we went to Barcelona. Oh my gosh, I was so tan. Where did that tan go? We went to Barcelona, and I was also filming my documentary at the time. So, this videographer was so nice. He was so cool. I don't remember where we were so many years ago, but we filmed for my documentary while I was in Spain. I want to say this was before I did my speaking event. So, funny enough, I went to speak in Barcelona for McDonald's, and it was a room full of women, franchise owners, who were all there, and I got to speak to them, and it was a really cool experience. And they gave me a bunch of like coupons for nuggets, which was really funny, but I had a great time. I was also invited to speak in Mexico City, and it was myself and a whole lot of other very famous people. And one of the people that was there, who was also a speaker, I'll just show you. Do you want to guess who it is? Just guess who it is. Look at me. I'm just like heart eyes emoji. It is. Yep. Antonio Banderas. Yep. That was him. Ugh. This was mid-conversation, and he was telling me he was apologizing to me for missing my speech and not seeing, me go on stage. And I said, this is me literally telling him, don't worry, it's totally fine. I didn't see yours either. And then he hugged me and we took a photo, and it was a great moment. They hosted a dinner for the speakers at a museum, and it was just, oh my goodness, it was unreal. It was so gorgeous. I couldn't, if you can't tell, I was just on cloud nine. I was so happy. I also went to speak in Malaysia, which was a very fun experience. Malaysia is very far, but both my parents got to go with me, and it was super fun. And this was the day before I spoke. This was like at a press thing we had to do, so that was cool. It was a entrepreneur event, and I had the chance to speak about how I've been my own business, self-employed, I guess you could say, and I've never spoken on that before, so it was really cool. My dad is the one who went with me on almost all of my trips that were out of the country. This was in Canada. You can't tell, but it is. But this was also another time where I spoke and got to meet another really great speaker at the event. It was a We Movement event. I'd done a bunch of them before, and this is my first one in Canada, and this is who I got to meet at that event. Why I just look so like best friends with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the legend, I don't know, but like I like, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Just so happy to meet people, and I don't know. It was cool. We also took a picture of it with him standing up, and he's very, very tall. He's also very, very nice. This was backstage at a speech I did in Egypt. I was invited to go to Egypt to speak at the World Youth Conference, and it was one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had. There were people from all over the world who knew who I was, who went to hear me speak, and it was amazing. I got to walk around, which isn't always the case when I speak at places, because I'm usually like backstage or whatever. But I got to walk around and meet people and take photos, and it was such an honor to be there. And the place we stayed at, just look at it. This is a photo from my phone. It took two 24-hour flights. Well, not 24-hour flights, but it took 2 overnight flights to get from Texas to where I spoke in Egypt, and I got there with my dad, and it was night, so we couldn't see anything. We woke up the next morning to this, and we were like, well, what in the world? Wow. This speaking event was in Mexico City, and my parents got to go with me to this one, and they went up on stage with me, so you can see how there's a few thousand people there, and it was really cool as well. The last time that I went out of the country for work was maybe like 2 years ago, and I went to speak in Cancun in Mexico, and I did 3 keynote addresses to hundreds of doctors and pediatricians, and I went with my dad again, and we stayed there for 8 or 9 days. We were there for a long time. You guys, this was the resort we stayed at and where I spoke. I don't even have words. I don't have words for how great this place was. Let's take a break to go feed our dogs and myself, and then I came upstairs, and I'm really cold, so I just put my robe on. Not that you asked or care. I just wanted to tell you what I just did. Anyway, this photo was taken, I think, the day before we flew back home. We found the dress that I'm wearing in a little shop, and it was exactly my size, and it's impossible to find clothes my size, so we were very, very happy. I was also very, very, very sunburned and looked like a snake, and my skin was just peeling. I haven't, that was all the photos, that was the video, I'm done. But I'm not, words. I haven't watched this back, but I can already tell that I'm already doing a look down thing every time I press stop to like do the next photo, and it's already, I haven't even seen it, and it's already bugging me. So I apologize if I do it, but I probably am like an old person that's like looking, that doesn't know how to like use social media. Anyway, that's it. Those are my trips.